Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Allie and today we are going to have a program where we talk about something that seems simple but is actually kind of complex. So we're going to talk about paper airplanes. I know that paper airplanes are something that like a lot of different people have made. There are whole books and kits and there's like several websites that are dedicated just to different patterns and stuff. So let's talk about why they're really cool. So here is one of the ones that I made. So if we're looking at it too, like it's just really neat to make something that flies purposefully out of one piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, right? So one of the things too that you'll notice if you really like paper airplanes or if you're really like sort of into building them is that they come in a bunch of different shapes as well. So this one that I made today, this one is built very much for like distance, right? It's not so much for speed and it's not for like acrobatic tricks the way that some of them are, but this one is built for distance. And there is an easy way to know this. So when we are actually making these things, you're going to notice that like the paper folds up into different places, right? So in a little bit, I'll show you how I folded this one. Looking at it too, try to notice if you can where all of the paper goes when you're folding it, okay? So let's take a quick look at how I made this guy and then we will kind of talk about it. Okay, so do you guys know where all that paper went? It didn't disappear. But if you look, all of the paper that we see and that we folded to make this paper airplane shape is over here. So this is really important because this weight makes this end of the plane heavier, right? But we have more surface area back here, which means that this is going to allow it to stay in the air for longer. We're pulling down, which means that the air is automatically pushing up on these wings, right? So again, I am not a professional scientist, I am a librarian, but the really neat thing about this kind of thing is that like this is something you can explore not only with this basic airplane shape, but with other airplane shapes too. So in all of these different really interesting, neat folds and different kinds of paper, you can find a lot of different sorts of things to test out. So I made another kind of airplane, okay? And that is this guy. Okay, so obviously if we're looking at this paper airplane and this paper airplane, they are very, very different. One is a lot longer than the other one. Okay, we see some different wing shapes and stuff. But as you can see too, these are the exact same kind of paper. I didn't use different paper. These are the exact same. However, these do not fly the same. So I'm not going to tell you at this exact moment. I'm going to show you how to fold this too, and then try to see if you can figure out what makes this one so different, okay? So, did you figure it out? Remember, with this one, there's a lot of weight right here at the tip. Okay, there's a lot of weight here, not as much weight over here. So, if we're thinking about how this paper airplane was made, there is so much weight in the front. We fold and fold and fold, so there is a lot of mass right here, okay? And the way that these wings are shaped too, this thing is gonna hurt if you throw it at somebody. Don't throw it at anybody. Oh my goodness. But the point is, sorry, I have to give that caveat, right? But the point is, though, is that we can see that the mass is distributed differently, okay? The weight is different in this paper airplane. All of the surface area is actually fairly evenly distributed here, but all of the mass is right up under here. There is like next to nothing back here. So if you do get a chance to make these paper airplanes and test them out, I'm going to challenge you to see which one is going to go further. Okay, so this isn't something that I haven't had a whole lot of chance to do because my apartment is too small and I don't want to throw these off my balcony. Don't throw these off your balcony, okay? You have to pick up whatever you throw. That's my rule in the library too. So, okay, so these things are really neat. I have one more challenge for you too while you're actually making and testing these things out. So sometimes you might have household objects that are around, like bobby pins or maybe like tape or pennies. So I mentioned weight, right? So that's going to interact with how these planes fly. So my challenge to you, let me find my bobby pin here. My challenge to you is to try adding weight in different places. Like I could add a bobby pin right here on the front, okay? It changes the shape just a little bit and it adds a little bit more weight onto this front end right here. So give it a try and see how it works out, okay? And then if you get the chance to, I would love to know how it turns out, okay? So yeah, there are a couple of other really great resources too, which talk about like flight and aerodynamics, and you can find those on dclibrary.org's database collection under Science Flicks. So I definitely check this out. It is definitely there. So please go and check that out and then try testing out some of these guys on your own. Okay. All right. So a little bit of a shorter one today, but I just got really excited because I found a bunch of paper in my house and I was able to, you know, throw paper airplanes at my husband today. So thank you very much once again for joining me. Please be sure to check out dclibrary.org/library@home. And that's where you can find stuff like ebooks, audiobooks, puzzles, games, and resources to show you how to make paper airplanes maybe. All right. Thank you very much once again, and I will see you guys next time.